Y estoy orgulloso de ser latino porque uno es una mezcla de culturas y uno puede hacer lo que uno quiera gracias a ser latino.
I mean, listen, all I can say is, no matter what you believe, like, I just wish that we could all go back, be good to each other. You know what I mean? Life is so short. Love people, don't be hateful, and don't have a mullet. You know, that's basically, those are the simples to make the world a better place. What up, everybody? You're watching The Zoo. I think we need like an animal sound to kick it off. Like every... Okay. These are all our best at Martin. Like, do you have an animal?
Or like a...
I'm Nikki Paris. This is AK. That's Martin. You're watching The Zoo. And for today's big deal, we have a ton of things that we're talking about. So keep it locked. What is today's big deal? Tell the people.
Is the world crazy? Is this new?
You're about to find out. That is today's big deal. All right. So today what we're talking about is if the world is just going crazy now, or if it's been this way. I have no fingernails left. I've been chewing them all off with what's going on. How do you guys feel about the current state of the world?
Jesus, where to start? Where to start? I don't know. I feel like 2020 was hectic. When Trump was getting elected, or was president, that seemed like a simulation. Most recently, Roe versus Wade got overturned. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I grew up here, you know, in the United States. Are we fed this idea of the American dream and that it's supposed to be like hunky-dory? Is it because we're fed that now it seems like a simulation, or has it all just always been this way, you know? Me personally, I think it always just like flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. We've had, I forget his name, Pablo Montes, Carlos Montes, the Chicano activist, remember? And he was talking about how a lot of the issues we're fighting now, they were fighting in the 70s. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Is it because we're not taught these things that then our generation forgets, and then these things rise up again, and then here we go again? You know what I mean? Right. Like history will repeat itself if you don't study it, kind of thing.
Well, I think a lot of people just weren't into politics before 2016, you know? Like, I just wasn't into, like, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. I was just focused on what I was doing, but now we're more...
You're trying to survive, you're trying to live.
Yeah, now we're more aware. Maybe because I'm an adult now, you know?
Exactly. Is it because we're hitting this age now, you know?
And I just turn on the news and go, who are these people? And I miss those days. I miss being so out of touch that I know. But what about everyone who was like 2020 is the worst year ever? And now we're in 2022 and it feels like 2020 was the foreplay. So I'm scared of what's to come. And listen, in terms of Roe versus Wade, I just think, you know, I personally believe your body, your choice, do whatever you want with your body. And you know, these men, I think that all the girls should get together with a megaphone and go to the local community pool and say, hey, you with the furry nipples, I'm going to have a say on your body. Put a shirt on and go home. That's just my hot take. It's crazy. And it kind of makes me nervous about, like, what else could happen? I
mean, it could get worse, and that, you know, that's a fact. I was talking to my godfather. He's super insightful. I love this man. And I was like, why is it that all these other countries will have these massive protests? And I think Amanda Seales posted it on her Instagram, where she's like, yo, these people look like Coachella protesting their president or whatever. And we were talking about it, like, as people of color, you know, even though I was born here, you're made to feel like you're not part of America, right? So immigrants feel that way, but then even like us as their like kids, first, second, third generations, we're meant to feel excluded. So we don't feel like we have power to fight for our rights, or we'll just stay quiet because we don't want to be seen, right? So I feel like that also kind of adds to the fuel of why things are going the way they're going, because as people of color, we feel powerless, even though we're from here, you know?
And I think it's one of those things where, like, parents tell you, like, don't bring too much attention to you.
Right,
know?
Exactly. Stay quiet.
Yeah, even with the census, you know, like, hey, don't put down how many people actually live here. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That is a fact.
You guys were told that too? Your parents said that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was just obnoxious. No, that's a relief to hear.
Well, so, you know what was another myth? And I say myth because I realize now, don't turn on the light in the cars because the cop will stop. Like, it's illegal to turn on the car light while they're driving. Really? That was also one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, turn that off.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, all I can say is, no matter what you believe, like, I just wish that we could all go back, be good to each other. You know what I mean? Life is so short. Love people, don't be hateful, and don't have a mullet. You know, that's basically, those are the simples to make the world a better place. You know, what do you guys feel like can change the world to make it better? Like, I mean, I feel like I'm so discouraged.
I mean, I think it starts in the education system. and I actually did a case study when I was in college about what sex education looks like across the country. Many states, because it's left up to the state how they want to teach, right? Many states consider sex education celibacy. So like we will teach you abstinence, and that is their lesson about sex, like, right?
So more of like, don't do this.
Yeah, but don't do this. Obviously, they tie religion into it. Don't do it. Do this. It's against God. But in teaching you abstinence, they're not teaching you like health things you need to know. You know, like just about your body and stuff like that. And so I know many countries. I think it's Switzerland or some European country. Sex education isn't like, oh, we're going to teach you about sex when you're in kindergarten. No, it starts with what is ¿cómo se dice? Consentimiento. How do you say that in English? It literally left my mind.
Me too. Now I can just think in Spanish.
Just like mutual respect.
Consent.
Right.
Okay, it starts with a consent, respecting each other. So that's what I'm saying. These are concepts that are taught at a really young age to foster these habits and traits when you're older. You know what I mean?
It's interesting what you said about the celibacy. They're not even teaching you to put the condom on the banana.
That's what I'm saying.
They're just throwing the banana out.
And they consider that as sex education. So now when you think about Roe versus Wade, it's going to get even worse. Like this is already the status, you know, of like how we teach about our bodies and stuff like that. So I think it starts with education, honestly.
My high school was pretty ghetto, so I remember they used to just give us condoms.
And not tell you what they were for.
Not even the banana.
They would blow them up and during the school auditorium, just toss them around and stuff. You're like, oh, what is that?
It's a new definition to water balloon. I'm sure. I mean, you know, it really is super scary right now. And, you know, but there's always been scary things. You know what I mean? So I just think it's like a reinvention of scary. And I think that in some ways, because we have the phones at our disposal at all times, I feel like we know more of what's going on. And there's a lot more. One thing that I will say that's great about social media is that more stories could come to light in a way that there was like 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe tops media channels that controlled what got out there. Now there's more stories that are able to get out there, but it's also stressful. Well, I think we all just need to manifest good things in the world for each other and have good energy. It's what we need. You guys keep it locked on The Zoo. The party is just getting started. We're going to be right back with spiritual alchemist Cindy Connect. Don't go anywhere. You know, we all need a little bit of light in our lives. So our next guest is known as the spiritual alchemist. Give it up for Cindy Connect. Welcome to the red couch.
Welcome. Welcome. We needed some light today.
Yeah.
You know, you came.
I love sofas. There's something magical about the sofas because I do a lot of my work in the sofas actually.
So tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. My name is Cindy Connect, spiritual alchemist. A lot of people were asking me, even I was in the green room right now, and they're like, what do you do? And like to simplify it, I just say I'm a spiritual healer. But to encompass it all in like a small few sentences, I work with beautiful energy, light energy. I am a channeler, I'm a vessel of light, I'm a Reiki master. But my intention really with all of that is helping people evolve. I feel like a lot of us have trauma, and my goal is to get people, like it's like getting a computer that's all messed up, and I deprogram it and program it back together. And it's all trauma, it's all fear. So that's what I do.
Is it hard to date when you do that? Does every man become a project?
Let me heal you.
I'm like, I just got comfortable. I'm like, okay, we're going there. We're going there. Okay, we're going there.
But I imagine it would be.
Very hard. It's very difficult, very challenging. Very challenging to date because they can't lie to me. Like I like.
Te las hueles.
Y como dicen, cuando tú ya fuiste, yo ya fui, vine 2 veces, 3, 4 veces. Like, so yeah, it's really challenging. Men love the idea of dating me, but once we're like connected, you know, it's a whole different level, and they get really afraid because le saco todos los trapitos al sol. But I don't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like I really, I mean, we're going this whole other thing. Like when you have a exchange, you know, sexual exchange, your bond connects. And it's not
like, always.
On a deeper level, and the guy just freaks out. Like they're literally like, "¿Qué me hizo?" Like,
oh my gosh.
you know?
Yeah.
A spell.
A spell.
I think it's really. Right. It was just emotional, dude. Relax. Your work actually started, or you began to specifically work with, energy and all of that at the beginning of the pandemic, correct?
Correct.
So what called you to do or to move into that?
Oh my God, it's a whole story. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but in 2019.